knocking on the door of 300 wins. We just looked up your first win. Do you remember it against?
7-0 Columbus in
Yes.
Columbus. Yeah,
Yes.
beat Freddie Brathwaite. Yeah.
What other details do you remember about that?
I kept the stick, and that's about it, really. Just who I played against, Freddie, in Columbus.
What was that first stretch of your career like? Because Chicago was
11-4
Yeah.
is what I remember.
Yeah.
Tough start.
What was it like going through that mentally? That point in your career, what was it like? Just got
I mean,
through.
young guy, you're kind of getting yo-yoed up and down. You get a couple chances here and there to play, and the team, we didn't have a whole lot of success, so you had to kind of work for everything you got there, and then it's just one of those things where you gain your confidence in the minors, you play well down there, you start to dominate there, and you get that confidence. So when you come back up, things start to roll, and it's one of those things where it's when you look back, you kind of laugh at it, but when you're kind of in it, I don't think I was kind of old enough or mature enough to actually look at it and really realize how much of a deficit we started with back in the day.
Is that?
You said old, or I guess, how does that number stick with you all these years later? Was it?
You know what? I didn't remember it, and then it was like a trivia thing in Ottawa. One of the equipment guys brought it up, and it was a trivia night or something. And now it's kind of stuck with me forever. So, but yeah.
Where do you still have that stick displayed in your house or anything?
I've got a bunch of sticks somewhere. My brother had it for a while, and then I think I have it at my warehouse now. I'm not exactly sure, but it's somewhere.
When you look back at that time, how has the game changed between then and now?
Speed and youth. A lot more. I would say there's a lot more youth mistakes. When you get the older players, things start to slow down. Guys play a little bit more mature. With the young speed, everything's go, 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 and the old slow guy kind of gets pushed out of the league rather quickly. So, and everyone's got fancy, stick handling and fancy plays because, more kids are playing it, and then they're playing, doing more skills. I think hockey's year-round now for everybody who's trying to make it. So at age 5 years old, they're watching guys on YouTube and the social media, and just the digital age has kind of embraced creativity, right? So before the digital age, your creativity is what you made of it. Now you could be very average creator, but you see somebody do something and you kind of build off of that. So it's just kind of growing the game that way, and you're seeing it kind of now into this league.
I'm sorry.
Has your equipment evolved and changed too in that time?
Yeah.
Bigger,
I mean,
smaller, it's
yeah. I mean, things are always getting lighter, and you're getting. I guess the big thing for goalie pads is the coefficient of drag, so you're sliding quicker. But skates are all changing now. The biggest change was probably sticks. You went from all wood to a two-piece to full composite. Back when you first kind of broke in, you had to worry about maybe 3 guys on each team, 5 guys maybe, because the bottom half guys with wooden sticks just weren't a threat. Now everybody's a threat, whether you're first line, fourth line. The sticks are so good, the players are getting so much better, the skill is kind of elevated that you got to worry about everybody.
Let's talk.
300. I mean, is that one you really wanted, especially the last couple of years that you saw it, within reach, I guess. And what would it mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just one of those nice even numbers. I think, when in March of 2020, when everything kind of shut down, I felt kind of cheated a little bit that way, and just felt like I had more to give, and that was kind of a personal goal to set, because if you don't have goals, you have nothing to achieve or nothing to strive for, you can lose some motivation. So I think finding ways to stay motivated, and that's an easy one, to come to the rink and drive and keep trying to improve and compete. That's an easy one to kind of feed off of.
When and why did you become a goalie, I guess? Do you think that's the big one?
I wasn't a great goal scorer. And I think it was one of those things where 2 things happened. When we were real young, we had 3 goalies rotating, and we were losing to a really good team in and I was playing defense, and I was sitting on the end of the bench, kind of like borderline tears, telling the coach, I don't want to play unless I'm playing goal. We were losing that bad. I didn't want to go on the ice unless I could play goal. And then, so in between the first and second period, my dad's running from the car with the goal pads, and we ended up switching and playing, and that was pretty much the end of it. And the other kind of memory that sticks in my head is at goalie school. I got hit in the elbow. Back we used to have like felt pads for chest protectors back in the day, and got hit in the elbow, from one of the older shooters, and off the ice crying. It hurts, and one of the coaches comes over. He's like, all right, well, what do you want to do? You want to go home? You want to get back on the ice? And you get tears running down your face, and I want to get back in the net. And that's those kind of defining moments of, hey, I'm crazy and I'm going to keep doing this.
How old would you have been when? So you were switching between defense and goalie?
Yeah, that would have been like when we were like 7 or 8 years old,
Wow.
real young. Yeah, and I played summer hockey or spring hockey as a forward, just kind of keep up with my skating, and I just wasn't very good. Simple as that. So,
Was that your favorite goalie growing up?
I had two, Grant Fuhr and Patty Waugh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then I got to play against Patty Waugh, and I got to be in training camp with Grant Fuhr. So,
Awesome.
kind of a neat experience.
You've adapted throughout your career. It's one of the reasons why your careers you had longevity. In what ways have you had to adapt this year? Is the injury part of it, or?
The injury was, that kind of sucked, to be honest. It makes you wonder, when you have, a disc issue, it makes you start second guessing, what am I doing here? And, you're 40 years old. But things started to turn and get better, and it was like, all right, well, let's try to get through this. And, I think adapting is the style of the game, right? The game has gone a lot more east-west. The post play, the way the goalies play on the post, that's all changed. I think I've gone through 3 or 4 different ways of playing in your net when the puck's, below the hash marks type thing in the corner or behind the net. So, and then you got to figure out what works for your body, right? Like not everybody can butterfly on every shot, not everybody can, do the splits and be super agile and flexible. So, you've had to adapt and read the game and try to figure out what works best. And there's going to be nights where, you're not your best, and that's just the way it goes. And you try to rely on your fundamentals to kind of give yourself a chance. And I think that's just, it's a learning curve, more mental than physical, I would say. There's always physical adaptations you got to make, but for the most part, it's all mental and, trying to stay in the moment as best you can. And to this day, you still fight with staying in the moment, whether you're 20 years old or 40. It's probably one of the hardest things to do is to not get too far ahead of yourself in your brain.
Sorry, for Grant Fuhr,
Calgary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I got his stick too. I asked him for a broken stick that he could sign, and he just grabbed a new one off his rack because it had the St. Louis colors, and here, take this one, and away you go.
Seems like you say all the time, you're playing a kid's game, trying to feel like a kid out there. When did that mindset kind of take hold of you?
As far as what, being a kid out there?
Enjoying that aspect of it.
I would say expectations are a part of that. I think when you expect to win, you expect to be this great team, things don't go the right way, you start getting pissed off and you forget about what it's like that you are out here having a good time playing a kid's game. And as soon as you can kind of flip that switch and say, hey, manage the expectations, you have fun playing the game, you usually play better and you usually win more games. So it's kind of like a reverse psychology thing of, enjoy what you do and you get rewarded. And kind of as I've gotten older, as soon as you have kids and you start to realize that, hey, it's more than just a job. Hey, this is a job. There's more to hockey than just, there's more to life than just hockey. I would say kind of that's kind of the turning point, and then each experience you get, you kind of learn from, and you move forward. And then like I said, my goal is to share my knowledge with the younger guys so they don't follow in my footsteps and fall back a few steps before they, the goal is to always climb the mountain. And if I can help them not fall down the mountain at all, that's kind of my goal as far as helping the young guys.
If I can build on that, because we heard from your coach. And when did you realize it was okay to be a leader and a goalie at the same time? We don't hear a lot about that. It may happen more than we assume, but
I would say it's tough because you're in a tough situation because when you make a mistake, a red light goes on, right? So everybody, not only the 18 guys looking at you, the 20,000 fans are looking at you, and that's a tough burden to handle. At least when you're a player, mistakes happen, but there's 4 or 5 other guys there that can kind of back things up. I would say that the biggest thing as far as being a leader from a goalie standpoint is, work hard every day, show up, be on time, be consistent, and then when you do have to talk, it's monumental because you're not that same voice all the time, right? So I see the game differently than everybody else because you're sitting in the back there, you're watching it from the kind of the quarterback position, and I think I learned a lot by playing out as a forward in beer league because you realize how hard it is to battle with the guy in front. You realize how hard it is to play forward or play defense, and it is hard to play goalie as well. I mean, if those guys tried to play net, I mean, they would see how hard it is too. But I think by playing the other position, I was able to understand kind of where their mindset is and kind of some of the battles that they go through. So it's a little bit easier for me to kind of connect with them now as I've kind of done that. But again, it's one of those things where you're a goalie, you can't go talk to the ref. You're not, you can't really see. I mean, they tried it with Luongo back in Vancouver, and it just, it was as much of a leader as he was, his work ethic was 10 times more than I've seen any other player in my career. And I don't know what his voice was in the room, but knowing his work ethic and whatnot, I think that would be enough. From a goalie standpoint, to show guys, hey, you're not going to score on me. I'm going to make it hard on you every day, and that kind of resonates through the team. Of hey, this guy's working. He's got to be, he's got to be the best player on a nightly basis because if you're not, the red light goes on, and the team kind of loses hope.
Coach mentioned that during the TV timeouts, you sometimes go over to the bench and talk to some of the other players. What kind of things are you telling them then?
Gentle reminders. There's certain plays that I see, and at the end of the day, I just want to see these guys have success, right? So I see a guy turn over a puck. It's nothing negative. It's, hey, man, you know better. I want to see you play more, and you're not going to play more if you keep making the same mistakes. And there could be other plays where, as far as, hey, guys, just keep it light, keep doing what we're doing, or it could be leave the refs alone if we're kind of all over the refs and we're getting on, not losing our focus. It depends on the situation. Sometimes it's could be a joke. Hey guys, stop passing the puck to the other team. Like we're wearing white tonight. Like I said, it just kind of depends. You read the situation as best you can. Certain guys you can pick on and make jokes at. Other guys you got to be a little more serious. So it's it takes a little time to figure out the room and figure out which guys you can kind of poke and prod at.
All right, guys, we gotta get these